On a warm, sunny afternoon, Della and her family set out for a long-awaited picnic by the lake. The air was crisp, filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the gentle rustling of leaves in the trees provided the perfect soundtrack for their day. Della's parents, her younger brother, and her grandparents had gathered under the shade of a large oak tree, setting up a cozy spot with blankets, food baskets, and folding chairs. Laughter filled the air as they shared stories, enjoyed sandwiches, and basked in the serene beauty of the lake. Della's little dog, Buddy, a fluffy brown puppy full of energy, darted around the grassy field, chasing butterflies and wagging his tail with joy. Della, a brave and adventurous girl of 10, had always been inseparable from Buddy. She loved him more than anything, and Buddy adored her just as much. They were the best of friends. As the family settled in for a quiet moment, Della's grandmother shared tales from her childhood, filling the air with nostalgia. Della, who had finished her snack, was tossing a stick for Buddy near the edge of the lake. The lake shimmered in the sunlight, reflecting the vibrant colors of the sky, a mesmerizing sight. But then, in an instant, everything changed. Della threw the stick a bit too far and it landed right in the water. Buddy, eager as always, dashed toward it without hesitation. Before Della could react, Buddy had plunged into the lake, paddling furiously toward the stick. The family looked up, their smiles fading as they saw Buddy struggling. The lake's surface was calm, but it had hidden depths, and Buddy, still young and not the strongest swimmer, quickly found himself caught in the cold, deep water. Panic set in. Della's mother gasped, her father stood up in alarm, and her brother cried out. The adults hesitated, unsure of how deep the water was or how dangerous it could be. But Della, without thinking twice, sprinted toward the lake. "Buddy!" she shouted, her heart pounding in her chest. She knew she had to act fast. Her parents called out to her to wait, but Della couldn't waste another second. She leaped into the water, the cold instantly biting at her skin. She was a strong swimmer, having taken lessons since she was little, but the lake was colder and deeper than she expected. With determined strokes, Della swam toward Buddy, who was struggling to keep his head above water. She could hear his little whimpers, and that fueled her determination. Her muscles burned, but she pushed through, her eyes locked on Buddy. Finally, she reached him. Wrapping one arm around the small, trembling dog, Della turned and began swimming back toward the shore. Her family was waiting anxiously, her father ready to jump in if she needed help. But Della, brave and strong, pulled Buddy closer and kept swimming, her legs kicking harder as the shore grew nearer. With a final burst of energy, Della reached the shallow part of the lake. Her father ran into the water, lifting both Della and Buddy into his arms. Della was shivering, her teeth chattering, but she was smiling. She had done it. She had saved her best friend. The family gathered around her, wrapping her in towels and hugging her tight. Buddy shook off the water, looking up at Della with grateful eyes, his tail wagging weakly but happily. The fear was gone, replaced by relief and love. "You were so brave, Della," her grandmother said, brushing a strand of wet hair from Della's face. Her mother kissed her forehead, and her father squeezed her shoulder proudly. "Buddy's okay," Della whispered, hugging her dog tightly. "That's all that matters." As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow over the lake, the family sat together, thankful for each other, and for Della's courage. It had been a day of adventure, but most importantly, it was a reminder of the strength and love that bound them together. And as for Della, she knew that she and Buddy would always be there for each other, no matter what.